Killer cats, the ultimate predatory perfection. Lions, tigers, cheetahs, they capture our imagination, terrify us with their hunting skills, and wow us with their beauty. But the showy big guys often overshadow their smaller cousins. The cat family is diverse, and felines at the smaller end of the scale can be just as impressive. Honed hunters, models of agility and grace. Their beauty has won them our hearts and even our homes. An investigation's underway. Thanks to documentary coverage of their larger cousins, you might think the cat family was well known. But the little cats are secretive masters of disguise. They're found all over the world, but even scientists studying them hardly ever get to see one. Some cheat, deploying technology to get closer. A radio collar sends signals to a biologist so he can gather some cat clues. A tiny tiger's revealed. The secret lives of little cats are coming into view, and they're full of surprises. These European wildcats could be considered the blueprint, a typical little cat. Spying on their family life is a rare treat. Wildcats live in many European countries with large human populations, yet are hardly ever seen. These little bundles of joy must learn to go unseen like their mother, using their spots and stripes to blend into the forest. They must learn to read the landscape, to interact with each other, and most of all, to hunt. It's through such intimate observations that we're slowly uncovering the little cat's secret lives. The small cats, scientists call them felinae, include more than 40 species, united by special feline features. Radar ears rotate independently to home in on prey. Claws are retractable, keeping them needle sharp. Padded feet tiptoe in silence. Pupils contract in bright light or expand to give night vision. A powerful yet supple body can creep or sprint. Everything about cat design has a single purpose: to kill. An athletic jumper with super grip claws. But even for this expert, getting to grips with prey can be tricky. The bobcat's a scaled-up model, supersized for North American backcountry. It's nearly 3 times heavier than the wildcat of Europe, capable of hunting young deer, foxes, and even the occasional dog. But the bobcat still prefers to hunt rodent prey. From one to another, small cats are alike, following the rules of the cat club, but there are a few that break the mold. In the wetlands of the Caucasus, on the border between Europe and Asia, a pair of little cats prowl. Similar in size to the bobcat, the jungle cat follows the same basic design. This one seems to challenge the idea that cats only eat meat. Actually, the vegetation isn't so much a part of its diet as an aid to digestion. But this species has a bigger cat myth to bust. Most cats don't like water, but the jungle cat goes by many names, including reed cat and swamp cat, and with good reason. It favors wet places. This youngster's been trailing her mother, but at 8 months old, it's nearly time to fly the nest. Her last life lesson is finding food. And she's not shy about getting her feet wet. But she's not sure how to get to grips with the well-armed turtle. Luckily, there are softer-bodied residents in the swamp. Though named for their cat-like whiskers, there's no love lost. Catfish are fair game. Mum shows her daughter how to bring home the bacon. The kitten's going to need to hang around a bit longer to master a sushi supper. The little cats are diverse and adaptable. To better understand their story, we can look at their origins. The great-granddaddies of little cats no longer exist, but they have close relatives that offer a glimpse of the past. Cats belong to a family called Feliformia, united by unique features of the inner ear. Of all the members of this furry family, it's a nocturnal hunter that's been around the longest. A long-bodied, sleek and agile hunter. The genet family first appeared around 30 million years ago and has barely changed since. Like most cats, the genet's solitary unless she's raising her young. She'll care for her little ones for half a year, and as they're already 4 months old and ready to wean off milk, she's under pressure to hunt. She has the bendy agility of a cat, but a longer, foxy face and claws that only partly retract. She's a capable and stealthy hunter, but weighing less than 2 kilos, she's limited to small prey. Insects, lizards and rodents are favorites. Occasional fruit like figs or olives add garnish. But tonight, under the cover of darkness, she's using her large eyes and keen senses to track down different prey. Her long tail stabilizes the climb. Birds sleep in the trees out of reach of most predators, but to this cat burglar, they're sitting ducks. She needs to feed herself to replenish her body. It's demanding, producing milk. The leftovers will be taken home to feed the kids. From humble beginnings, the cat family went from strength to strength. Absent only from Australia and Antarctica, wildcats have colonized the globe and slightly adjusted the basic cat design to conquer every habitat. One of the most distinctive little cats stalks the hot grasslands of Africa. A small head, long legs and huge ears set the serval apart. Adaptations to a sea of grass. With long legs, his head's high, scanning for the tiniest sounds with huge satellite dish ears, which can independently rotate 180 degrees. Though he's 3 times the size of your average moggy, the serval specializes in small prey. He spends most of his time bird watching. He's not built for speed, but height. He can cover 3.5 meters in a leap. Ideal for an aerial attack. With a 50% hit rate, servals are the most successful hunters in the cat clan. From one end of the specialization spectrum to the other. From the African plains to the frozen north, the land of the lynx. One of the shyest and most secretive of cats, lynx are also one of the most widespread, existing throughout the northern regions of the world. One of the largest little cats, roughly the size of a pet Labrador, its food is supersized. Huge hairy feet help tiptoe silently over the snow. Lynx prefer forests rich in large, hoofed animals. Even a huge red deer stag could find itself on the menu. The deer's pointy hooves sink deep in the snow, slowing them down. With its furry snowshoes, the lynx has a home advantage. But the herd's wary. A smaller roe deer catches his eye. Like big cats, he kills with a bite to the throat, driving long canine teeth into the victim's neck. After dragging the body to a quiet spot, he'll eat as much as he can. He'll bury the rest for later. A carcass this size could support him for months, a vital source of energy in the snow. In the warmer forests further to the south, the wildcat's less ambitious about lunch. He has the same weaponry as his larger cousin, and his home's well stocked with big game. But like all cats, he's carved out his own niche. He's a rat catcher. In fact, any kind of rodent will do. Before hunting, he scent marks, spraying the bushes with hormone-soaked urine, a keep-out sign to other males, and hopefully a welcome mat to females. Male wildcats constantly patrol their territories, which can be up to 18 square kilometers, stopping only to hunt. He can freeze, locking his body in positions that would challenge the greatest Kung Fu master. Patience and timing are everything. He doesn't always get it right. But with a 70% hit rate in open grassland, patience pays off. Within his large territory, several females have smaller home ranges. Keeping to themselves, they don't wander far. They need a fixed address while raising their young. All kittens, whether in the wild or under the kitchen cupboards, are born blind and unable to walk. They're totally dependent on the round-the-clock care of their mother. But at 4 weeks old, these kits are wide-eyed and ready to explore the vast world outside their den. Curious, but still a bit clumsy, they have a lot to learn. Playing, they explore the capabilities of their bodies. squabbles help build their coordination against foe or foliage. Mum keeps a close eye and limits playtime. Young and vulnerable, the kittens still need the protection of the den. The woods can be dangerous. The lynx kits have had a few more weeks to get used to the great outdoors. They share the zest for life and instinct to explore. Already their lynx features, the short tail, big feet and tufty ears, are well developed. All little cats love to play. But it's not all fun and games. These are life lessons, teaching the little killers to stalk, pounce and grapple prey, preparing them for the day they must hunt for themselves. Summer school's tiring, and the kits soon run out of energy. Mum needs to top them up. She'll produce milk until they're about 6 months old. They'll stay with her for nearly a year, before finally setting out to claim territories of their own. It's a race to grow up in the woods. At 7 weeks old, the wildcat kitten's eyes turn from baby blue to brown. They're ready for the next chapter of childhood. They no longer cling to the den. The world's their playground. They say curiosity killed the cat, but it's only by experimentation that the kits learn the ropes. Their mother already has a well-developed knowledge of what to eat. She selects certain grasses, not for food, but roughage. It will help clear fur she swallowed while grooming or eating. Instinctively, a kitten follows her lead, learning from example. It's not the easiest thing to chew. Cats' teeth are designed for stabbing and shearing meat. But getting to grips with live prey will take longer to master. Easier to stick with pouncing on each other for now. It's also important to get to grips with climbing. The kittens are realizing how effective their retractable claws are. They can scale vertical surfaces. The tools are ready, but the confidence to use them still lacking, especially when it comes to getting down. The more precocious the kittens get, the harder it is for Mum to keep tabs on them. But she remains patient for now. Motherhood for little cats can be tiring. The female lynx is finding herself the object of the youngsters' attacks. In an attempt to keep them safe, she routinely moves the cubs, making sure their scent doesn't build up in any one place, alerting predators to their whereabouts. Being carried by the scruff doesn't look comfy, but the kittens instinctively freeze, avoiding injury. Safely relocated, they're free to get back to business. Milkshakes all round. Summer passes quickly, and as fast as it goes, the kittens grow. The little wildcats are soon eyeing their animal neighbors with fresh enthusiasm. Squirrels are irresistible. But just too fast. To encourage the youngsters to refine their palate, their mothers treat them to meaty meals. The young lynx are new to solids, but their mother wants to wean them off milk. She offers a deer carcass. She's partly buried it in leaf litter to keep it safe from scavengers. She calls the kits in, but they don't seem too sure. Lynx can easily handle carcasses 5 times their body weight. She does her best to arrange it, making it look more appetizing. And eventually, they come in for the taste test. As adults, they'll need to consume a couple of kilos of meat a day, so they'd better get used to it. They must learn to peel back the hard-to-digest skin and expose the more nutritious flesh and organs beneath. Another important lesson: to wash up after every meal. Cats' tongues are rough, like sandpaper, to comb through and clean their fur. Across the Atlantic, the lynx's close cousins, the bobcat twins, are almost ready to fly the nest. They're almost as big as their mother. She's doing her best to impart her hunting skills. Sometimes they're a bit too eager to get in on the act. By making the kits work for it, she's encouraging them to cut out the middleman and hunt for themselves. Mum could use a dozen voles herself to quell her appetite, if she gets a look in. The kids need to learn that freeloading's not an option. Maybe Mum's a soft touch. By the time autumn reaches Europe, the wildcat mother's trying the same weaning technique. She's got a bunch of teenagers that just won't leave home. She's caught a rat. But this time, no handouts. From now on, if they want food, they're going to have to catch it for themselves. It's a harsh lesson, but the life of a little cat's a solitary one. In autumnal reed beds, the jungle cat hunts alone. After 9 months of schooling from her mother, she's having to fend for herself. Her wetland home is teeming with possibilities. She's not exclusively pescatarian. The reed beds provide cover for a wide range of birds. A quail would be ideal. But they're lightning fast. Growing up's never easy. Once they've left home, young cats are on a steep learning curve. This is the most dangerous time in their lives. Especially for a young serval that must master the many dangers of the African savanna. Cautiously creeping on his quiet, padded feet. Listening to every sound with his huge ears. Scanning the scrub with sensitive eyes. From now on, it's up to him to decide what's food and what's not. Lightning reactions kick in. His bird-catching leap can also get him out of a tight spot. The serval has yet to learn which snakes can be eaten and which to avoid. The mole snake's aggressive, but not venomous. Nonetheless, he proceeds with caution. He's never hunted snake before. But instinctively, he knows what to do. His big feet hammer home. An experienced serval could kill this snake with a blow to the head. But inexperience and a very bad-tempered serpent are just too much. He's going to need more practice. But out of the frying pan and into the fire. Natural wildfires are common. They're part of the landscape, clearing dead undergrowth and returning nutrients to the soil. But they can be devastating to animals. All creatures here must learn to run or perish. The serval has never seen fire before. He takes in the new sounds and smells. Luckily, survival instincts kick in. It spreads with terrifying speed. This is one life lesson he will never forget. The world over, little cats must face the elements. In Europe, the young wildcat is sitting out his first storm alone. But this will be the first of many, and he knows to sit tight until the clouds pass. With the onset of winter, nature ups the ante. Animals must battle against freezing temperatures. Snow carpets the ground and makes it harder to find prey. But broad, snowshoe-like tracks show that lynx are in their element. Their thick fur coats shield them from the cold. Little cats thrive despite the challenges of the wild, but there are some threats even they struggle to endure. For millennia, humans have fought a war against predators, including the little cats. Brutal gin traps slam shut, catching the cat without damaging its valuable fur. The beautiful, soft, warm, patterned coats of cats became their downfall, sought for fashionable clothing. In many parts of their range, the little cats were wiped out, leaving only memories and museum displays. Luckily, times have changed. The lynx is still hunted, but this time by a conservationist. Most of the little cats are protected by law and hunted in very limited numbers. Efforts are underway to relocate and release them back into their former range. And ongoing studies make sure their needs are understood and provided for. Cats need plenty of wild food and space to roam. But in the busy, human-populated world, big spaces can be hard to find. Like most wildlife, cats are displaced by development and killed on the roads. But there are simple solutions. Research has shown that if a suitable, safe alternative is provided, such as a bridge over the road, then the little cats will use it. With people constantly invading further and further into cat habitat, it's not surprising there's sometimes a conflict of interests. The caracal, an African lynx, complete with the lynx signature ear tufts. An expert bird catcher. It doesn't mind whether the birds are free range or caged. But of course, cats coming into our living spaces haven't always resulted in a clash. "10,000 years ago, wild cats living around our homes caught our eye. They were useful roommates, patrolling our food stores and removing pests like rats and mice. Wildcats were domesticated. It wasn't long until they'd made themselves part of the family. Though they retain their wild features, there have been a few changes, like slightly larger waists. Some domestic cats still make their living hunting mice around barns. But most live with us as companions, as part of the family. They still follow some of the rules of the wildcat clan. Mum moving the family by their scruff and nursing her blind kittens. Kids playing to strengthen their bodies and learning to hunt. And curiosity, teaching them what they can and can't eat. They might have been domesticated, but the little cats were never truly tamed. They still like to unleash their inner lion. They still hunt. They still like personal space. They only come to us when they want to. But it's perhaps that aloof wildness that's part of their charm. It's no wonder the internet's full of cat videos. They might lack the drama and majesty of the big cats, but with around 600 million domestic cats in the world, and their wild neighbors living nearby, humankind's definitely under the spell of the little cats.